Welcome to English with Stories, everyone. I'm teacher Rachel, and today we have a wonderful English lesson prepared for you. We'll be following a day in the life of Carlos, a passionate Mexican chef working at a cozy cafe in New York City. Through his story, you'll learn practical English vocabulary and expressions that people actually use every day in real conversations. First, you'll listen to Carlos describe his busy morning routine at the cafe. Then we'll pause to explain some important words and phrases. And finally, you'll get to practice speaking by repeating after me. This lesson is perfect if you want to improve both your listening and speaking skills while learning how to talk about daily activities, food, and work in English. I recommend keeping a notebook nearby to write down any words you find useful. Remember, don't worry if you don't understand everything immediately. Just relax and try to catch the main ideas. Are you ready to begin? Let's start our lesson and meet Carlos as he begins his exciting day in the big city.
The alarm buzzes at 4:30 a.m., slicing through the quiet darkness of my tiny Brooklyn apartment. I fumble for my phone to silence it, my fingers still heavy with sleep. The numbers glow bright in the dim room. Another early morning in New York City. I take a deep breath and swing my legs over the edge of the bed, my feet meeting the cold wooden floor. The first ritual never changes. I stretch my arms high above my head, feeling the familiar pull in my shoulders from yesterday's kitchen work. My small kitchenette beckons from across the studio apartment. The click of the coffee machine is comforting as I measure out the dark grounds, a special blend from Oaxaca that reminds me of home. While it brews, I splash cold water on my face at the bathroom sink, the shock helping shake off the last bits of sleep. The rich aroma of coffee begins to fill the space as I pull on my standard uniform, black chef's pants, a clean white t-shirt, and my lucky apron, stained with memories of countless meals. I sip the strong coffee slowly, savoring the bitter warmth as I mentally prepare today's special, chilaquiles verdes, with my grandmother's secret salsa recipe. The subway ride to work is my quiet time before the kitchen chaos begins. At this hour, the train cars are mostly empty, except for other early risers. Nurses, cleaners, bakers like me. I watch the city wake up through the windows as we rattle across the Manhattan Bridge, the skyline slowly lighting up with the first hints of sunrise. My stop approaches too quickly, and I join the stream of people pouring out onto the Brooklyn streets. The morning air carries the scent of baking bread from the Jewish bakery on the corner, mixing with the faint saltiness from the East River. Jamal, my coworker and fellow line cook, is already at the cafe when I arrive, his loud laugh echoing from the kitchen. "Sleeping Beauty finally arrives," he teases as I tie my apron. I just shake my head and get to work. The breakfast rush waits for no one. The grill sizzles to life as I dice onions with practiced speed, the rhythmic thump of my knife against the cutting board, joining the morning symphony of clattering pans and bubbling coffee makers. Mrs. Henderson will be here in exactly 23 minutes for her usual omelet, and everything needs to be perfect. The morning rush hits like a hurricane at precisely 7:15 a.m. The cafe doors swing open nonstop as office workers stream in, their tired eyes searching for caffeine and comfort. My hands move automatically, flipping pancakes, plating avocado toast, sprinkling just the right amount of queso fresco on my signature chilaquiles. The heat from the grill makes sweat trickle down my back, but there's no time to wipe it away. "Order up!" I call out as I slide 2 perfect eggs Benedict onto the pass. Jamal whistles when he sees Mrs. Johnson at the counter. She never deviates from her usual oatmeal, but today she points at the specials board where Carlos Chilaquiles is written in colorful chalk. My heart skips a beat. This is my chance to share a taste of home with New York. I toast the tortilla chips extra crispy, just like Abuela taught me, and layer them carefully with the vibrant green salsa verde. The final touch, a drizzle of crema and a sprinkle of cilantro, makes my mouth water. When Jamal delivers the plate, I peek through the kitchen window. Mrs. Johnson's eyebrows shoot up at the first bite. Then she closes her eyes, savoring the flavors. A slow smile spreads across her face, and she gives me a thumbs up. At that moment, the lunch cook, Mateo, arrives and raises an eyebrow at the busy scene. "Looks like we've got a hit, chef," he says, tying his apron. The morning blurs into controlled chaos. More customers order the chilaquiles, the printer spits out endless tickets, and my forearms develop new burns from the relentless grill. During a rare lull, Jamal nudges me. "Check this out," he says, showing me his phone. His sister texted about a neighborhood potluck dinner next weekend. "You could bring your famous chilaquiles," he suggests. Before I can answer, the printer starts up again, signaling the next wave. I wipe my brow with my sleeve and get back to work, but my mind is already planning how to make enough chilaquiles for 50 people. The scent of roasted chiles and fresh tortillas fills the kitchen, blending with the rich aroma of brewing coffee and sizzling bacon. It's my favorite smell in the world, the smell of home meeting my new life. By 2:30 p.m., the cafe finally quiets down. My arms ache from 12 hours of constant chopping, stirring, and plating, but there's a satisfied exhaustion that comes from a service well done. I lean against the stainless steel counter, sipping a cold horchata that Mateo brought from the Mexican grocery down the street. The kitchen looks like a battlefield. Stacks of dirty pans tower in the sink, the grill needs scrubbing, and flour dusts every surface like fresh snow. Jamal starts cleaning while humming along to the radio's salsa music. "Your chilaquiles were the talk of the neighborhood," he says, elbow deep in soapy water. "Miss Johnson told everyone at her book club." The compliment warms me more than the afternoon sun streaming through the kitchen window. As I wipe down my station, I notice we've completely run out of tomatillos and crema. Tomorrow's shopping list is already forming in my mind. The walk home feels different today. The usual exhaustion is tinged with pride as I pass neighbors who ate at the cafe. Mr. Chin from the bodega waves me over. "Heard about your special dish," he says in his broken Spanish. "Maybe you teach me to cook Mexican next Sunday?" I agree immediately, already imagining the cultural exchange. Perhaps he'll show me how to make proper dumplings in return. My tiny apartment welcomes me with its familiar creaks and smells. Before showering, I do what I've done every night since moving here. Open my well-worn notebook to today's page. Under new English words learned today, I carefully write book club, snow for the flower description Jamal used, and tower for the stack of pans. The notebook's margins are filled with little kitchen sketches and recipe ideas. As the shower water washes away the day's grease and sweat, my mind keeps returning to the potluck idea. Maybe I could make chilaquiles 3 ways: verde, rojo, and a special fusion version with Asian flavors to honor Mr. Chen. The possibilities make me forget my tired feet. Later, as I lie in bed staring at the ceiling, my phone buzzes. It's a text from my mother in Mexico City. "¿Cómo fue tu día, mijo?" I smile and begin typing, my fingers flying across the screen as I describe Mrs. Johnson's reaction, Jamal's potluck idea, and Mr. Chin's cooking proposal. For the first time since arriving in New York, I realize I'm not just surviving here, I'm building a life, one recipe and one friendship at a time. The distant honking of taxis, an occasional siren, become my lullaby as I drift off, dreaming of tomorrow's possibilities.
Let's pause Carlos's story for a moment to explore some important words and expressions we've heard so far. These will help you speak about daily routines and cooking, just like Carlos does. Pay close attention. We'll practice together before returning to the story. Horchata. Definition: a traditional Mexican drink made from rice, cinnamon, and vanilla. Example: after working in the hot kitchen, Carlos enjoyed a cold glass of horchata. Tomatillos. Definition: small green Mexican fruits with a papery husk used for making green salsa. Example: the chilaquiles recipe requires fresh tomatillos for the authentic flavor. Service in restaurants. Definition: the period when meals are being prepared and served to customers. Example: the morning service at the cafe is always the busiest time. Run out of. Definition: to use all of something so nothing remains. Example: they had to change the menu because they ran out of tomatillos. Cultural exchange. Definition: sharing traditions between different cultures. Example: cooking together created a wonderful cultural exchange between Carlos and Mr. Chen. Now, let's practice these words together. Repeat after me. The horchata helped Carlos cool down. We need tomatillos for the salsa verde. The dinner service was very busy. I don't want to run out of coffee. Our potluck will be a cultural exchange. Excellent! You are doing great! Now that we've learned these useful words, let's return to Carlos's story and discover what happens next in his New York adventure. Ready? Let's continue.
The next morning begins just as early, but with a new energy coursing through me. As I prepare another batch of chilaquiles now officially added to the permanent menu, I notice more customers than usual waiting outside before we even open. Word has spread about the authentic Mexican breakfast, and suddenly everyone wants to try Carlos's special dish. Jamal arrives with 2 cups of coffee and a stack of flyers for the neighborhood potluck. "My sister wants you to be the star attraction," he laughs, pinning one to our bulletin board. The morning rush is even more intense than yesterday, but now other staff members come to watch me work, asking questions about the techniques my grandmother taught me. During our afternoon break, Mr. Chen appears at the back door with a bag full of fresh tomatillos and an old notebook. "My sister's recipe for Szechuan sauce," he explains. "Maybe we mix with your chilaquiles." The idea excites me, a true fusion of our cultures. That evening, as I add Szechuan Mexican fusion to my notebook ideas, my phone buzzes with a message from the cafe owner. "Carlos, I want to discuss making you head breakfast chef." The words make my hands tremble. Looking around my tiny apartment at the growing collection of recipes and English vocabulary notes covering the walls, I realize something wonderful. This cramped New York kitchen has become my home, as much as Mexico City ever was. Now let's practice together. Repeat after me. I wake up early for work. The cafe was busy during lunch service. We're planning a cultural exchange through food. Wonderful. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and try making your own sentence using one of our new words like horchata or tomatillos. Imagine you're telling a friend about Carlos's story. What would you say?
Great job today! Every lesson you complete helps you get better and more confident in English. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and never stop learning. We're so proud of your progress and excited to see you again in the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a new lesson. Until then, keep learning and see you soon.